Because you expect so much. He was even more Tom Cruise. That's what Tom to be. Final answer, move on. That's it.
Jerry already knew him, so yeah.
Tom Cruise uses more emojis in LOL than I expected.
He was much more what?
He was,
Or you
Tom...
can change the sentence.
Oh, yeah, you can change it.
Oh, all right.
Well, go against the grand, dude.
Everybody's like waiting. They want to know each of our individual experiences.
Inhabit Maverick, America the Rose, buddy.
All right. He was much more loving than I expected.
All right.
Oh, good answer.
Lewis? I would say for the man that is probably the busiest man I've ever met, he made the most time for us. I don't know how it felt like he grabbed time right out of the vapor in the air.
Can I take my answer back real quick?
Yeah. Did I inspire you?
You did inspire me.
My
Because
turn, and then if you take one.
no, I promise I'll take it. I promise. I'll say
I'll
this, but no, it's your answer, which is I've called Tom. You call Tom for something. You say, hey, like I should need a little advice. That is the busiest man. Is it right? Sorry. And you literally be on the phone with this man for hours. Just always saying to kill.
Say all the answers. Say every single answer.
Okay, no, it's just he will literally spend an hour on the phone with you. You expect like, hey, can I just ask you something for 5 minutes? And it will literally be a chat about all these different movies and the advice, and I made a mistake here, but it turned into this, and you'll literally sit there with the busiest man you've ever met, and he has the most time for you. I hate giving a sarcastic, silly answer. He does use emojis and LOL, but he also has more time for anybody than I've ever seen, and he has the least amount of time than anybody I've ever met.
I want to change mine real quick. Good job. He's very caring. You don't expect somebody to...
Oh my God.
If you use it in different senses, it's a different...
This guy's on his cell phone videos come on.
Wow, this whole thing was supposed to be 8 words. Monica, Tom Cruise is much more what?
Well, I agree with everything that's been said. He was much more of a mentor than I expected.
Caring.
It's hard. I mean, it's hard because I do think like he, for each one of us individually, has given so much one-on-one time, as well as like talking to us as a group, and he just is like lived this incredible life working with so many of the greats, and then becoming one himself. And he speaks so humbly about all the people he's worked with, and so it was really incredible to get to learn about everything that he's done in like a patient, calm way. And yeah, we can call him anytime. Not one word, so many words that already been said.
Well, I agree with everything everyone has said. I think he's much more present than I thought someone could be with everything he's doing. Okay.
I got a
We're just
different
gonna
one. I'm sorry.
hurt people.
This is actually something that's different. It's actually something that's different. He was much more funny than I expected. He was funnier than I expected.
Just took Danny's
That was at the end of my answer. That was
Oh,
the
don't do
punchline.
that to me.
He was like, well, yeah, Tom was. No, he's funny. He's funny.
He's very present, which makes him very funny. No, he does so much, and like when he's there with you, nothing else matters. He's locked in on whether motivating you, giving you advice, whatever it is that like he sees exactly what, in some ways, you need, and what we were doing was very tough up there. And I just kept thinking back on this audio that you played us in the final act, that you're like, this is actually what you guys are doing up there, and all this emotion and all this love, and the whole film is going to lead up to this, which is the rawest of all emotion, which is, I don't want to spoil the audio, but that was something that like the whole experience is very taxing when your art imitates life and life imitates art. And Tom, knowing what we're going through, his presence and him being so present with you there was sometimes the thing that helped you push through what was very taxing, both physically and emotionally.
JLs.
There's been so much said that honestly I don't know what the question was. To be quite honest,
Do you really want me to say it?
yeah, say it again.
Compared to what I expected,
Yeah.
Tom Cruise was much more.
Thank you. What was your answer?
Present.
Oh, present.
And then I added,
And fun.
That's a long way to get there.
I just said,
Oh, funny.
I took it.
What's yours, Jay?
Sorry, Jay, before you go.
what's the one word?
Yeah, no, I will say this is a hard question for all of us because I think that the answer that every single person is giving is what every single one of us, because you don't just experience Tom in one way, right? Like we all, what everyone has said, we've all gotten to like interface with him and spend time with him and learn from him in so many different ways. And so I'm gonna kind of use a bit of a cop-out and say so much more than what everyone has said. Like Tom Cruise is so much more than the most amazing things you can say about a human that everyone on this panel has already said.
I like it. John,
That
take
is
us
a
on.
cop-out.
Well, I remember when I first met Tom when I was building his garage. It reminded me, I think really what Jay said is kind of now encapsulated in a similar way, and I will, we all, including everyone in the audience, everyone up here, have an image of Tom, and he's a movie star. He's maybe the last movie star. He's an icon. He's a cinematic, thing. But in fact, meeting him and then working with him and spending time with him, as we can all attest to, you realize that he's so much more human than you actually realize. You realize there's a human being, not a superhero, not a movie star icon, all of these things. And he engages with you, as everyone basically has said down the line, in a human way. And if you have an issue with, it doesn't have to be work related, it's career, personal life thing, whatever it happens to be, he engages with you on that level. And for someone who, as mentioned, and several have mentioned, who has so little actual free time to take whatever that little time is and share it with you is not only really unnecessary on their part, but kind of unheard of for people at that level to engage. We've all heard stories, and some of us have worked with people that have had, been sort of reverse of that. So that was, I think, the thing I took away with from working on this, having this experience working on this film, was just understanding that at an incredibly profound level that this is a great actor. He's a wonderful movie star. He's an amazing force of nature in many ways, but he's just also a great human being, and that was a real kind of comfortable feeling to have after going through all of this.